I pulled up to Granny's house just after sunset, the sky darkening as I parked. Today was a good day at work, but an ominous feeling overcame me as I approached the front gate. The front door was ajar, swinging ever so slightly in the breeze. Odd, I thought. Granny always locked up by sundown. Pushing the door open, I stepped inside and called out, "Granny?" No answer, just the faint sound of rustling from her bedroom. My stomach dropped, but I tried to shake off the nerves. She'd promised me her famous turkey dinner and a slice of homemade cherry pie. Thoughts beginning to run wild, I called out again. Louder this time. Finally, her voice floated from the back room. "I'm just resting, sweetheart," she said, the voice dragging, as if the words were a bit too heavy. "Took my afternoon medicine with lunch, and it didn't quite sit right." She paused and then, with a strange lilt, added, "I saved you some turkey in the fridge, and a slice of that delicious cherry pie." It didn't sound quite like her. The voice was right, but something felt wrong, like someone had heard her voice a few times and was imitating her, just barely off. But I tried to shake it. It was Granny after all. Maybe the medicine was just making her sleepy. I made my way to the kitchen, stomach growling. The fridge's familiar hum calmed me, and I opened it, grabbing the turkey leftovers and a slice of pie, setting them on the counter. She'd been talking about that pie all week, proud of how she'd finally got the crust right. As I ate, I let myself relax, even chuckling to myself for getting so wound up. Eating here felt good, familiar, but every now and then, I'd hear a small noise, a faint creak behind the walls, the slightest whisper of movement. I glanced around each time, but nothing was there. I forced myself to laugh. Just the house settling, I told myself, rinsing off my plate. Everything was quiet now, almost unnaturally so. The kind of quiet where even the air feels heavy, like it's bracing for something. I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to check on her. I made my way down the hall, arriving outside her bedroom door, where I knocked lightly. "Granny?" Nothing. I opened the door slowly, peering in. The bed was empty, the blankets rumpled as if she'd been lying there, but no sign of her. My skin prickled. And then, a quiet creak from the closet. I turned, my fingers trembling as I reached for the closet handle. As it creaked open, I saw another door, small and worn, set into the back of the closet wall. I hadn't noticed it before, but it must have always been there, right? It looked older than the rest of the house, with chipped paint and a tarnished brass handle. My stomach twisted, but I reached for the handle. I pulled. The old door groaned as it inched open, its weathered wood resisting every bit of movement. The sound was deep, earthy, and oddly organic. My hand found the handle and I pulled, stepping into a dark, cold space lined with rough, gray concrete. At the end of the narrow hallway, there was a low chest, its lid slightly ajar. My heart pounded, but I couldn't turn back. I crept closer, barely breathing, each step heavy with dread. The chest was scratched and old, splinters sticking out from its edges. With a deep breath, I braced myself. I reached down and lifted the lid. Inside lay Granny, her body twisted in a way that shouldn't have been possible. Limbs at impossible angles, her face locked in a wide, terror-filled stare. Her skin was pale, and her hands were frozen, clutching at her chest, as if she'd tried to fight off whatever had put her here. I staggered back, gasping. Behind me, I heard slow, shuffling footsteps. I turned horrified and saw her standing in the doorway, or something that looked like her. The figure standing in the closet doorway wore Granny's nightgown. It was her height, her silhouette, but as it shifted slightly in the dim light, I could see that its face was blank, stretched skin where eyes should have been. It tilted its head, the mouth twisting into a wide, grotesque grin. "Did you enjoy the pie, sweetheart?" It rasped in that same voice, now hollow and chillingly familiar.